अब हम मंत्र जाप करेंगे।
Jai Guruji, Jai Sangat Ji. Today I'm going to read 3 satsangs from the book Light of Divinity. The first satsang is of Nitin Joshi, software professional, son of Colonel retired S.K. Joshi. With Guruji, the real treasure is hidden. If you could penetrate the worldly facade he presents, if your gaze can see beyond it to him, then you shall be blessed with an all-encompassing shelter. For me, this is the focus when being with Guruji. There is a wall made up of your ambitions and desires that keeps you from getting to the real him, to achieving his bhakti. With Guruji, your desires and ambition are put into perspective and fulfilled, though you get what is right, not necessarily what you dream of. But it's beyond this facade, the wall, that the true fruits lie unexplored. If you can scale the wall, you get to the real treasure. It's not easy. He puts you to the test and will squeeze you like a lemon and shake you like a tree. His words, I have been blessed with tremendous past karma and sanskars, hereditary qualities that his divine will gave me a chance to come into contact with him. It's impossible for me to describe Guruji. Thoughts overwhelm my mind. If Lord Ganesh could not describe him, who am I? We began going to Guruji's place with no expectations, hope, or troubles, and it was his magnetic charm that got us back again and again to him. Drop your pretensions here. I used to take breakfast for the sevaks in the mandir. Guruji was usually in Path at that time. My parents used to keep the Friday fast. This typically means not eating anything that's sour, not even touching it. It was a Friday, and my mother has strictly instructed me not to consume any such thing. That day, Guruji was out early, and as I came in, he instructed another devotee, Sudama, to get me a cold drink. I was more than happy to have Guruji's delicious prasad and left contented, thanking my stars for his darshan and the unexpected prasad. But I was scolded at home. I was dejected, but brushed the episode aside. In the evening, we went to the mandir again. Guruji was in a good mood and sat down for satsang. We were all listening intently. He made a comment about the fasts people keep, remarking that such a practice was bogus, as was his wont. He didn't say it directly, but the point drove home. You are in the house of God. Do what he tells you and forget the humdrum practices that pretend to reach God in silly ways. A laddu the size of 2 cricket balls. Guruji blesses some people with the Sachkhand prasad that he produces by divine will and which is referred to as a miracle. I have been fortunate enough to experience many such instances: gold earrings in dollar notes, hot halwa, mishri cased burfi, chocolate and vanilla burfi, motichur and besan laddus, Himachali hat. One day in Jalandhar, Guruji had gone to a devotee's house for dinner. Langar was served, and as usual, the Sangat ate before Guruji. Seeking an extra second of his divine presence, I finished off early and sat next to him. While the others were eating, he was sitting straight, with his wrist resting on his knee and his fist closed. I felt Guruji would give prasad. Nothing happens without divine will. That's probably what he wanted me to take note of, so I was concentrating on him. As the Sangat gathered around after Langar, conversation started. I was looking at Guruji's fist. Just as he opened it, a laddu as large as 2 cricket balls appeared, as if you had a piece of sponge that enlarged as you opened your fist. At first, nothing seemed extraordinary, and then it sank in. A laddu had not just been produced out of thin air, it had grown in size as Guruji's fist opened up. My father, a Fauji, army man, had been posted out of Jalandhar, so Operation Packing was going on at home. There were wooden boxes, trunks, gunny bags, all of which had to be numbered, lying around the house. In the evening, Guruji visited our house. As soon as he entered, the lights went out and he said, "Emergency light packed in box number 13. Guruji's mannerisms and speech are such that they make us believe that he is just like us. They are a part of the facade, until the gravity of what he says sinks in. Often it takes a while for that understanding to develop." So no one heeded his comment. The boxes were not even numbered. A week or so later, when packing was complete and our helper was numbering the boxes with paint, it struck me. I looked at the freshly painted box number 13, and lo and behold, the emergency light was staring at me. I had forgotten what Guruji had said until that very moment. Guruji knows our past, present, and future. Do not pretend, do not hide. God Almighty Himself. My mother was down with fever. My father and I had put ice packs on her all day, but to no avail. Medicines did not work either, and her fever was not coming down. Suddenly, we received a call from Guruji that he would be arriving at home with the Sangat. He came in only with a couple of people, went into the room where my mother was lying down and said, "Chal auntie, kuch nahi hoya. Come, nothing's happened." He grabbed her hand and led her to the drawing room. I was at his feet, pressing them. 5 minutes later, Ma's temperature was normal, but his temperature had risen. He takes our illnesses on himself. Can anyone in this world do it? Our karma decides our suffering and well-being, and someone who can take my suffering can only be God Almighty Himself. The second satsang is from N.L. Sapra. I have brought her back from heaven. My wife had been suffering from rheumatoid arthritis and joint pain for a number of years. She had undergone treatment at AIMS for about 6 years and homeopathic treatment thereafter, but without any lasting relief. Due to joint pains, she found it difficult to walk. She also needed support while sitting down and getting up. One day in May 1998, our daughter told us about Guruji and asked us to come over with a copper tumbler to seek his blessings. The next day, we had Guruji's darshan for the first time and paid our respects. Guruji very kindly blessed the copper tumbler. My wife was instructed to fill the tumbler with water every night, to drink half the water in the morning, and to use the other half for bathing. After some time, her condition improved. With time, her joint pains subsided. By Guruji's grace, the stillness and pain in her joints decreased considerably, and she can sit, stand, and walk on her own. In April 2005, Guruji again came to my wife's rescue. During a routine fitness checkup at Sitaram Bhartiya Hospital, she was found to be having abnormally high blood pressure, 230 over 120 millimeters of mercury. She was kept under observation for a few hours and advised to take medicines regularly. After 2 weeks, she had a severe attack of bronchitis. As she had a breathing problem, she was also advised to use a nebulizer. One afternoon, she was suddenly uncomfortable and breathless. By the time the nebulizer could be fixed, she had lost consciousness. She came to after a few minutes but was restless and said, "Something is wrong with me today." Soon she calmed down and fell asleep. Late at night, our daughter called up to say that Guruji had told her that her mother was very sick and should be admitted to the Ashlok hospital the next morning. Accordingly, she was admitted. With Guruji's blessings, everything went off well and there were no complications. She made a speedy recovery and was discharged from the hospital after a fortnight. After she had recovered fully, she went for Guruji's darshan and blessings. A devotee named Mrs. Mehta inquired about her health. We were near Guruji and he said to Mrs. Mehta, "I have brought her back from heaven." Immediately we knew that Guruji was an incarnation of God. Guruji has showered his blessings on our entire family. Our son and daughter are also his devotees and with Guruji's blessings are doing well in life. The entire family is grateful to Guruji for his blessings. The third and last satsang is from Nutan and Anil Berry, who are residents of Gurgaon. The devotee whom you befriend can't perish. We count ourselves lucky to have come under Guruji's Sharan. We came in contact with him through the marriage of one of our cousin's brother's daughter, which was being celebrated at Meerut Cantonment in November 2005. We and our cousin's sister Pinky had no plans to attend the marriage, but found ourselves somehow together at Meerut. There, Pinky expressed her desire that we should attend Guruji's satsang and related some of Guruji's miracles. One Friday, while returning, we happened to pass by Empire Estate, but thought of having Guruji's darshan some other day. We continued on and had barely crossed the estate when our car came to a sudden halt. We were taken aback and decided to have darshan and receive Guruji's blessings. The moment we made up our minds, the car started and we reached Guruji's place at about 7 p.m. There we were told Guruji's sthan would open at 8 in the evening. Instead of waiting for an hour, we decided to return some other day. Just then Pinky, our cousin sister, arrived and pressed us to attend the satsang. We attended Guruji's satsang and right from that day we have been most regular. Before coming to Guruji, we were astray. With his grace, we have reached the right place. Our daughter goes abroad for studies. Our daughter, Rakshita, had to join an MBS course in a US university by 15th January 2006. There were some problems with her documents and they required a court clearance. It so happened that the court was closed due to holidays. However, with Guruji's grace, a special court opened and cleared her papers. She was able to fly to the US and report to the university on 18th January 2006. With Guruji's grace, the university staff accommodated her, though she was late by 3 days. Guruji's grace was evident. At Delhi airport, Rakshita's baggage was declared overweight and we were asked to remove some articles or pay $180 as charges. We were in a fix. We removed the luggage. Suddenly Rakshita felt that Guruji wanted the baggage weighed again. On the next weighing, the luggage fell within the weighted limit. After 3 months of joining the university, Rakshita called us to say the university was not allowing her to join the second semester and she might have to return to India. We asked her to pray to Guruji. After a few days, Rakshita gave welcome news. The university had allowed her to join the second semester, thanks to Guruji. Our son turns into a believer. Sudhanshu, our son, was a non-believer and we took him to Guruji's forcibly thrice. Every time he came back without attending the satsang. Today, however, with Guruji's blessings, he has had a change of heart. Whenever he comes back from the hostel, he is keen on having Guruji's darshan. The incident that brought about this change is worth mentioning. Sudhanshu and 3 of his friends had hired a taxi for going to a friend's house in Kalka. They had hardly gone a few kilometers when their taxi had a head-on collision with a truck loaded with wood. The taxi was badly damaged and the front wheels of the truck broke. and it fell on the road upside down. But miraculously, all the 5 occupants of the taxi were safe. They received minor injuries. To save Sudhanshu's life, Guruji has saved the lives of 4 other people. Omnipresent Master. Guruji even takes care of minor troubles. To effect some treatment, Guruji had told us to go to the Yamuna Bridge early in the mornings during the winter of 2005. Once our car, parked on a slope, stalled, we tried to give it a push and then prayed to Guruji for his help. Immediately, 2 Sardars appeared and offered to help us. They pushed the car and then disappeared. Guruji has often blessed us in our dreams as well. One early morning, my husband Anil dreamt that Guruji had given him prasad of sweets. These turned to money when Anil opened his palms. Guruji is omniscient and omnipotent. For instance, he has revealed to us about our families and our past lives. He told me about my husband's major operation at AIIMS, which proved to be a lifesaver. Moreover, Guruji has many times saved the lives of those whom doctors could not cure. He has also cured cancer patients and others suffering from dreaded diseases. In fact, Guruji's treatment of patients begins when doctors fail to cure them. Whoever comes to receive Guruji's blessings should drop the ego and come with patience, a clear heart and mind, and absolute faith to derive the most out of his darshan as satsang. Guruji's primary mission is to alleviate mankind's suffering, and he renders good to all without any distinction. He is omnipresent and knows the present, past, and future. In him, who is possessed of all joy and is salvation itself, all the learned men find their ultimate resort. Through the blessings of the omnipresent Lord, we obtain wealth, both material and spiritual. It is through his grace that his devoted Sangat can attain abundance of all that is desired. We are fortunate enough to have the privilege of the presence of Guruji, who removes all sufferings and protects us from all inimical influences. It is said, "Thy devotee whom thou befriendeth cannot perish." Om Namah Shivaya, Guruji Sada Sahai. Jai Guruji, Jai Sangat Ji.